Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You know what? I'm not going to say my channel. Welcome back to just open and honest discussions. I don't want to do the super YouTube thing. I'm just speaking on certain topics that need to be spoke on, mainly women or female accountability. I do need to put this out there. I am not a female grifter. So no, I am not trying to grift and cater to the manosphere and have all of you guys run over here because you think I'm anti-woman and you think that I'm just going to try to live up to whatever it is that you guys want us to say, because I'm not going to use you guys like that. And Black women are out of control, so I'm definitely not about to come up here and cape for them at all. The girls are always fighting. The girls are always fighting. The girls are always fighting. So, and Black women are just way out of control. So I'm just coming to speak on certain topics. And I usually try to cover them from different angles. I always say at the beginning of my discussions that I believe that for the most part, men should talk to men and women should talk to women. So women, don't think I'm picking on you, but we here, okay? So there's so much to talk about. I don't know if I want to start with the Keke Palmer, the Lizzo, the Black female doctor that literally severed a newborn baby's head from the body while delivering the child, or Black therapists, Black female therapists, that I think is probably dangerous for Black men to go to. That's a controversial thought, but I do have proof, so let's get into it. I'm going to start with the Keke Palmer situation, and I'm going to cover it from a different angle. I'm not going to come from the place of being on the side of what she wore was inappropriate, or I'm definitely not going to be on the side of caping for women. We do know that our dress code has become completely out of control. As a former scantily clad, dressed young lady, you know, one, I'm from a Caribbean family. People that know the culture know that we wear very little clothes. Not all of us. I'm just saying culturally it's accepted. You know, our culture is very geared towards sensuality, and sexuality is a big part of our culture. So whatever excuses I'm making, I'm just saying that even I'm able to reflect back and say, nah, sis, someone should have corrected you, or you should have listened if or when someone corrected you. But I'm going to come at this Keke Palmer situation from a whole different angle. What probably bothered me the most about the whole Keke Palmer situation was watching the millions, and I'm using elaborate numbers, but watching the drones of women fly in the comment sections telling her that she needs to leave this man. What's going on in society where a bunch of people that know nothing about relationships, that haven't gotten it right, feel the right and the expertise to tell other people what to do? And in particular, Black women always being like, oh, you should leave him, you should leave him. When quiet as is kept, they're dealing with way worse. They are tolerating way worse things from men that are not their husbands, that are not their fiancés, just dudes that they are sleeping with or like or crushing on or whatever. Why? Yes, what he did was inappropriate. Keke Palmer is worth quite a bit of money. And it's not just about the money. She does have a very good reputation and a long career. So no, he should have never made that public. Keke Palmer has always maintained her privacy. We haven't known her to really be in any controversies. And for you to be her child's father. Now, I don't know if they're not getting married because she's worth so much. That's my theory. I'm like, sis is probably justifiably, like, you're not about to Wendy Williams and Kevin Hunter me. You're not about to Mary J. Blige and Kendall me. So I understand for some women it is actually not beneficial if you're worth a lot more money than the man to legally get married. So I don't know if that's what it is, but if it's because he didn't propose yet or he didn't have the conversation, yeah, I think he kind of has to fall back just a little bit, because make her an honest woman if you want an honest woman, right? You made her, I don't even like to just say a baby mother, but I get the point, right? But what I will say is, for women to just be like, oh, you should leave him. I'm like, they're humans. They are humans. They are going to make mistakes. They are going to do things in bad judgment and poor judgment. They're not always going to make the best decisions. Why is a modern black woman's first thing, leave him? Like, if you talk to black women now, it's scary trying to talk about any relationship stuff, because the smallest thing, like, it's like a huge deal. And there are, now, I'm a person that's big on really being honest about the shortcomings that your partner has and things of that nature, and not trying to not see things, right? Because we have to be accountable. However, we are all walking red flags. I don't know who's going to tell black women that they are walking red flags, and somebody got to pick your butt up and agree to work with you through some things. Some man is going to have to agree to walk with you through being able to trust again. Some man is going to have to walk with you through you possibly not being the most sexual or sensually comfortable being, because you may have been molested or had some kind of physical trauma happen to you. He's going to have to be patient with you on that end. Some man is going to have to probably deal with or work with you or have patience through you changing your dress code, right? Being used to being single and dressing how you want to dress and doing what you want to do. And now it's like you're in a relationship, you need to change some things around. Some man is probably going to have to deal with the fact that you are probably a chatty patty, right? You probably talk too damn much. Some man, is probably going to have to deal with the fact that you tell your friends things that you're not supposed to, or your mother or your aunts and everybody all up in your business, every time y'all get into something. My point is, we're all walking red flags, all of us, right? Show me a perfect person who doesn't come to the table with certain things that may seem suspicious, or certain things that are not, certain things that a person would probably prefer to date and mate with someone who don't got those issues, right? So, like I said, I'm not going to get into the respectability politics of if what she wore was too scantily clad, or if he was wrong. I just want to tackle it from a different angle and deal with black women being our own worst enemy. So you guys are telling her, I haven't heard anything bad about Keke Palmer's child's father thus far. His brother is a successful actor. Maybe him not so much, but he does have a craft and a talent. And I'm pretty sure that he's been trying to get gigs and, trying to get the right gig and trying to move around in the industry, so why are we just telling black women to dispose men that haven't done things that are really bad? Or now, if one of her friends said, leave that man, maybe it may be more valid, because the friend knows a lot more instances. I'm talking about the black women that saw one instance of them having some kind of dis-ease within a relationship, and you guys are just like, leave him. But you'll tell Keke Palmer to leave her guy, but you are going to turn around and tolerate something probably way worse from whoever you're with or somebody else. So that's what I wanted to discuss in regards to the Keke Palmer and Black women being careful of what you tell who, because some people are really not allies, and they will give you advice that can change your life. The Lizzo thing. Why am I not surprised, right? Why am I not surprised? Like, what baffles me about us as women is how gullible we can be. Why do we think that these female celebrities that come out and tell us what we want to hear, and they sell us an image and catchy phrases that we want to hear, and then we completely run behind them? Why are y'all so shocked that Lizzo is toxic? Why are we shocked that Lizzo is toxic? Like, are you guys so blinded by a good weave and good makeup and a good wardrobe that you can't see the characteristics that people have been showing you? Lizzo's been freaking obnoxious. She's been obnoxious and inappropriate. Lizzo has been obnoxious and inappropriate for a long time. On top of, and I don't really like to talk about size. I don't like to talk about size because we don't know what people are going through. We don't know what medical issues or whatever people have. But we know deep down within, Lizzo don't want to be that big. And it's not healthy to be that big. Not saying that all big people are less healthy than smaller people or people that look fit. Obviously, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is, realistically, come on. I don't be proud of who you are and what you look like, but let's be realistic. How much more weight can Lizzo gain before realistically it's just not healthy? I don't know how to say this without big girls being like, well, you don't know what my blood work says. You don't know what. The point is, that's excess, right? That is excessive fat. Even if you don't have an issue now, prevention is better than cure. And even, let's forget about the health part. Lizzo is lying to you. Trust me, all of these, let me not say all, that's wrong. Most of these big girls are going back and forth, grappling with different diets and, failing and trying again. And when I say fail, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. I mean that they tried, they got the results, then the pounds came back on. They tried or they didn't get any results, or they tried and got very little results. But behind closed doors, these women are trying to lose weight. The only reason why Lizzo probably cannot lose weight or keeps putting the weight back on is because now it's her brand. And she's stuck. And trust me, Lizzo does not want to be stuck doing this, because she did the weight loss thing before. The weight started to shed. She was talking about it. So now that you gain all the weight back, are you really confident and happy with this thing that you're selling to other Black women? Because if we have somebody that can create a banner for our toxicity, we're good. We're good. We could literally find people to advocate for us being in domestic violence relationships, and they create a song, or they create like a catchy phrase about it, and then everybody is like, oh, it's not that bad. I don't even have much more to say about the Lizzo situation, because I don't really care that much. Honestly, like I said, she's been obnoxious. She's very talented, and I wanted to listen to her and her music, but she's just so obnoxious. I'm like, I can't. I was watching the Kendra G show the other day. And, I go back and forth with watching it and not watching it for like a couple of weeks. And then I may even hit do not recommend, because I just don't want it in my feed for a while. But depending on how popular you are, the algorithm will slip those people back in your in your recommended feed after a couple of weeks. So she got slipped back into my feed. Which shout out to that, to that lady. No hate on what she's doing or whatever. She is just giving a platform for what is actually out there. But anyway, in the comment section, well, let me reverse. There was a video of her interviewing a young man. Now, the young man was clearly mentally delayed and definitely intellectually delayed. Definitely intellectually delayed. He actually tried to read something to Kendra, something that he wrote, and he couldn't even read back coherently what he wrote.
See if I could do that for you.
I appreciate that. I really want to read this message to you, but I know you got other people, and I don't want to hold it up. I know
I'm gonna let you read it. If you got it, you can read it.
Okay, you trust me. I'm gonna take my time and go slow, Miss Kendra. I'm gonna take my time and go slow because I want you to hear this last part about you. It's something nice. I wrote something nice about you, especially. It's about you. Okay. So I was like this. My pops wasn't there. My heart been beeping since I was a baby. My mama chewed snow over her family. Then she went crazy. My grandma been raising me since I was a baby. And who I'm looking for? Someone like you. Most hold on. Male from okay. Who I'm looking for? Someone like you. But then hold on. I'm sorry. Receive Miss. I'm gonna go back. Miss Beautiful Kendra. I'd rather be a.
Now, in the comment section, there was this woman. A lot of people were sending him love and light because Kendra tried to send him money. He said, I would rather you try to give me an opportunity. I create funny videos and things. Like, I would rather you give me an opportunity so that I could continue to sustain myself.
Okay, God. Why? So listen, you have Cash App. I wanna sew into your new future.
No, ma'am. I don't have no phone. I don't have no phone. I'm on the tablet. I'm on my. No, I don't have no phone. I don't have no Cash App. I don't have no phone.
Well, I wanna send you $250 to sew into your new way of life. So how can I send you $250?
Well, I don't have no way. I appreciate it, but I would like for you to come on the radio station with me so I could finish my story. I got a story in electric. I'm trying to build on that way. I'm trying to work. I'm trying to work into getting something. I appreciate the handout, even though I'm low right now. The reason why I'm like this, because I have to learn how to cherish something. People like you always giving, and we need to learn how to work for it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you was to able to give me 2, 3, 4 calls, I will know how to manage that because I got it so easily and I destroyed it just like that. So I want to work for it. If you could give me some for me to work for it, or you could make me go to somewhere to build up and work, I will appreciate that more better than you just handing it to me. I appreciate you offer it, but I want to work as a man. I need to know responsibilities. Because
that was really dope, right? No, there had to be 1, 3, or 5 black women in the comments saying, watch all of these women fall for this. This is the type of women that black women, this is the type of men that black women want. And then they complain when they get pregnant by a Pookie or a Ray Ray. This is not just some guy coming on here like, I want a fit, friendly, feminine woman with no kids, and he has 5 kids, and you're like, okay, I'm like, bomb on him. He's ridiculous. The man is clearly mentally delayed and cannot even read on an elementary level. And the young man said that his mother is an addict and his father, kind of berates him and calls him dumb and things like that. Let's cross out the father part. The young man said that his mother is an addict. So in the comment section, this one woman I saw, like, watch all these women fall for this and, this and this and that. And she said that her mom dated a Dusty just like that. He came with this sob story and then she let him in. And then, so anyway, I ended up responding to the woman saying, I definitely agree that he shouldn't be looking for a relationship right now, But of all the things that you chose to comment, why would you get on this young man like that when his issues are far beyond him? He cannot even fully read on the elementary level. His mother is an addict, which means that he may have been born with drugs in his system, which we know would cause mental, emotional, physical delays and complications and all kinds of things. This idiot had the nerve, and this is the thing about Black women. Sometimes they talk so much. Sometimes we talk so much and we're so proud, we're so prideful that we don't even realize how ridiculous we sound. Or look, she's going to reply back, and I'll put screenshots in between here. She replied back basically saying that she is a therapist, and I'll put the comment up here because I can't remember it off the top of my head. And she's a therapist, and she's saying what she would say to her clients. And I told her that she's unhealed from the stuff that happened with her mom, but don't put that on this mentally delayed man. And but my point is, this goes into my next point. I know that there's a lot of Black women that have been saying, oh, these men don't want to go to therapy. These men don't want to go to therapy. They're dusties. They're trash. They just don't want to do the work. I'm not going to cape for Black men, but I wonder if, but I am going to advocate for them a little bit. I wonder if maybe intuitively, or maybe some of them have had experiences with Black therapists that are women that they felt was off. Because imagine this, there are Black women therapists, and there was one that got fired a couple of years ago, wasn't it? Because she came online and she was talking about her Black male clients.
Your life can be easier. Don't you want to be able to communicate with your bitch?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I think yes, right? Long gone are the days where you can just shut down. Bitches is not tolerating that. Like, it used to be where men provided financially or with schmeat, and bitches can make their own self come, and we can pay for our own shit. So I'm gonna need y'all to catch up on the emotional part. If a bitch is telling you, I need you to communicate more, open your fucking mouth. But you know what I realized? And let me back up. A common misconception about me as a clinician is that 90% of my clientele have been men. Black men specifically. And what we specifically work on is expanding their emotional vocabulary, because a lot of y'all motherfuckers don't even have the words to express how you're feeling. So when you expand your vocabulary and knowledge of what you are experiencing, because y'all are human beings who experience feelings and emotions and don't have to choke that shit down no more. Y'all ain't had to choke that shit down since 2016. Anyway, if y'all are not in therapy,
2016 is such a wild. So to give everybody, this is a therapist, this is a licensed therapist.
Hey, recently I've been hearing a lot about like broken people helping others. Like, you need to help yourself first.
Oh, wait, what? It's gonna get worse. It's gonna get worse. So for those who don't know, this is a therapist. She was on TikTok creating some content. She stumbled across there was an article.
It's just hitting me how much people are willing to do for content.
I know.
When they're not even content creators.
Exactly. She stumbled across an article in another TikTok I guess personality content creator.
Mm-hmm.
She reacted to the article as well. The article was basically identifying that there's a lot of lonely men.
Right.
Her suggestion, and in the article, to be fair, it also said something about like reason why men are lonely is because of lack of emotional capacity and not be able to articulate their emotions. Right?
Really?
So she agreed, and so
she thinks that's the main reason why.
I guess. Which is crazy. Wait, you know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy? In the article itself, it actually identified other problems as well.
If you're a Black female therapist and you have a deep-rooted hate and deep-rooted trauma and things from Black men, you really need to try to resolve that or decline Black male clients, because you will not really be able to help him. And as a matter of fact, you'll probably do way more damage as he came to you for help because he thought that you were a professional and someone that cared.
You're not. When bitches are telling y'all to go to therapy, it's not for us. It's for y'all sad motherfuckers. All right. Go in peace.
No.
Let her finish.
No. She has it confused. You have elevated your standard. You have not improved at all. Do you mean to tell me she could just elevate her standard and men have to actually improve? She hasn't changed a thing about herself. She just elevated her standard. That'd be like...
No. That'd be like a role player elevating his standards of like how much money he's demanding to be paid or the team he wants to play for without actually improving who he was as a person or as a player.
She acted as if increasing her standard was an increasing of her self-value. It's not.
But you really have disdain for this man and for men, and you'll probably really try to sabotage them, because imagine this young man going to this therapist and telling the therapist that his mother was a drug addict, hearing him read and realizing, oh my God, the school system failed him, his community failed him, everybody failed him. And this is not just a situation of, oh, just pull yourself up by the bootstrap. His mother was a drug addict. If he made it out of his situation successfully, he would actually be an anomaly. He's not the norm. He would have been an exception. But anyway, my point is, imagine in real life if this young man went to her, told her and was vulnerable about all this life stuff, and she's like,
nowadays, y'all don't even have the education or credentials to be talking to a bitch, especially out the side of your neck.
Well, you need to pull yourself up by the bootstrap. Like, you need to, you don't deserve to have anybody that's going to date you. You don't deserve to have anybody that's going to love you, because, and I'm not saying that that's how she would say it, but I'm pretty sure she would use her therapist talk and then to really weaponize him, right? And most likely make him feel even worse and make him feel like he is all the blame or most of the blame for his life circumstances.
That is a therapist. That's a professional therapist.
Yeah,
a professional one.
I am not a caper. What's the word? I'm not a Captain Save 'em for men at all. I hold everybody accountable to the same level. But there's certain situations that, first of all, if you're a therapist, every client and every situation requires compassion and empathy, if nothing else. Compassion and empathy, because if you don't even really have compassion for your clients, what are you doing? You basically just think that people that come in with certain issues are just monsters and they don't need help. They're coming to you to help for you to help them sort through these thoughts that they don't know how to get above, that they don't know how to sort out, that they don't have a solution for. But you really hate black men. But you really hate black men. So I could imagine what you're saying and the damage that's actually, the further damage that's actually being caused to these black men's mental when they come to these black therapists that do not like black men. So now I have to think to myself, damn, maybe all men aren't full of shit when they have doubts and questions of going to therapists. And it's not even just them. Let me give you guys a quick situation. I was considering going to therapy some time ago because I had got really, really ill. I got really ill. I had like an autoimmune condition that's a lot better now. And I've always been like really healthy. I was vegetarian for a while. I was vegan for a while. You know, I read the labels on everything. I went through a fitness journey where I was lifting, you know, and I was really like, my muscles was coming out. It was a beautiful thing. And then my body crashed. Right. And I didn't know if I was going to make it. I really thought that I may not be on this earth anymore. And between that situation, because I had a fairly peaceful life outside of that, like I felt like I may need therapy coming out of this situation. But I remember thinking to myself, and even before that, I said I would go to therapy because there became this big push, you know, about therapy. Like, I don't know what the push is, but it's like the last couple of years, everybody's been like, go to therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy, go to therapy. And I remember one day I was like, but who are these therapists and what do they think and what do they believe?
What she said by stereotyping black men and maybe having some prejudice in her language, she violated a lot of the ethics and the rules of somebody with an LPC license. So in that regards, she shouldn't be surprised that she faced some type of discipline and somebody called her out. She did overgeneralize African-American men, but African-American men stereotypically in the past didn't seek therapy like we probably should have. So I don't have a problem with what she said. I have a problem with her overgeneralizing and the anger in her tone. It seemed like she had something personal against some of these black men. So it's just the rhetoric, you know what I mean? It's the way she speaks and stuff like that. A lot of people have said, well, what about Kevin Samuels and his rhetoric towards black women? My only response to that would be, as a life coach, I don't think he has the same responsibilities as a counselor and just being a YouTube personality when he was alive. So that's where she made her mistake. She has a professional obligation to follow the rules of her profession and not necessarily just say anything to get TikTok views and TikTok likes.
Why should I entrust my thoughts and the feedback of a therapist when I don't know the root of your thoughts, right? I don't know if you're like a staunch feminist in real life. If you're a staunch feminist in real life, how can you possibly gently and carefully help women that come to you without enhancing their toxicity, without enhancing their delusion, and what's the word I'm looking for? Without affirming the shit that they're coming to you with that really needs to be checked. Like, imagine if a woman comes to you and it's like, I don't know, I'm a stripper and I wear my stripper shorts sometimes when I go to the mall, and all of these men harass me and they look at me and they say things to me, and you know, like, I shouldn't be treated this way. And not saying that you definitely don't deserve to be touched against your will, for sure. However, if you wear a certain thing, that's like if somebody, let me finish that statement. If you wear a certain thing, you get a certain type of attention from a certain type of people. And I know all of the women that think they're so smart is going to be like, that doesn't make any sense. I should be able to wear whatever I want to wear without men feeling like they have to look at me and sexualize me and stare at me. Like, why would you just stare at me? Imagine somebody coming out the house dressed like a rat. I mean, They put on a costume dressed like a rat. Or somebody comes out their house just doing a prank and they wear, you know, the suits, the poison control suits, like the all white poison control suits with the mask and everything like that, and they got the hands covered, you know, the astronaut poison control looking suit, and everybody either like moves away from them because they don't know if they're contaminated, or people might ask the person a question like, is there something that we need to know, like why are you dressed like that, like should we be scared, like what's going on, or they think that you're a terrorist or something like that. Come on, let's be for effing real here. Imagine this, the therapist affirming this delusion and BS, like, yes, you know what, you're a woman and you should be able to dress and wear whatever you want to wear, and nobody should. How does that help her go into the world in a realistic, adult, mature way? So if you're a staunch feminist and a woman comes to you, or a couple comes to you, and they're trying to work through their issues, but you have issues with men, or you're a feminist, so you think that everything he's doing, which is, that is more natural to men, that's more innate to men, and that's more of a masculine thing, you tell him that he's all wrong. You affirm her and wanting him to do and be all the things that she wants him to do and be. You know, like it's this can go so many ways, right? Like a woman comes in there and she's 250 pounds, right? And you're telling her that, you know, she shouldn't have to work out. She shouldn't have to, it's basically like going to a racist. And I have no dog in the fight. I have no issues with white nationalists, not white supremacists. I have no issues with white nationalists and all of those things. I'm not going to cater to any of the boxes you guys want to put me in. I don't have an issue with Trump or his supporters or white people. Listen, I stay to myself. Good people are good people. Not so good people are not so good people. But imagine going to a racist. I mean, like, not a white nationalist, but an actual racist or white supremacist. And they're the therapists. And you come in there to them. Like, I always think to myself, who are these therapists? And am I truly safe in their care? But I say all this to say, are Black men safe going to Black therapists? Black female therapists? Seriously, are you guys in professional, caring, safe hands? And I also do have to apologize to men on this part, because I literally had a debate with this lady in the comment section, and I realized, oh my God, this is probably the fear that some men have of going to therapy, and who the therapist is. And we was just like, oh, that's bullshit. You guys are just lazy. You guys just don't want to go, which a lot of you guys are just lazy, or just don't want to go, or just don't want to do the work. Listen, I'm not about to cape for y'all. But your fears and some of your thoughts and critiques are actually valid. So I apologize if I never considered the valid concerns, because y'all should be concerned going to Black female therapists. Just do your research, but don't let that stop you from doing the work and doing the healing. Okay, now, the final thing that I'm going to talk about in today's video in female accountability is the Black female doctor that ended up literally ripping a baby's head apart from his body during the birth process. And then the other female nurses actually, and none of them told the mother. Of course, they didn't tell the mother that they decapitated her freaking child, and that was her only child, right? But not only that, they helped to swaddle the baby, the woman had to have a C-section. She didn't know what happened to her child. She didn't know. She thought that, she knew that there were complications. She had to be rushed to have a cesarean section.
At about 8:40 in the evening, she was fully dilated and told her to start pushing. Well, during the course of the pushing, the baby stopped descending. There's something called a shoulder dystocia, fancy word for saying that the baby's shoulders could not fit through the pelvic girdle. It got stuck by the bone there in the pelvic girdle. That was recognized, and what wound up happening after that is just brutal. Dr. St. Julian came in, and she, in the process of trying to deliver this baby, pulled on the baby's head and neck so hard and manipulated them so hard that the bones in the baby's skull, face, and neck were broken. When Dr. St. Julian finally took Miss Ross to the operating room for a C-section, cesarean section, where they cut the belly and deliver the baby through the abdomen, when the womb was opened, the feet came out, the body came out, and there was no head. The head was stuck in the vagina, and the head subsequently was delivered vaginally. The baby had been decapitated. Dr. St. Julian was grossly negligent for applying ridiculously excessive force on the baby's head and neck.
Can you also speak to the fact that they were not allowed to hold their child?
Yes, they were not allowed to hold their child. The hospital basically said, hey, well, we can't let you hold the child. We can, and my understanding is that they at one time did not want them to see the child. But what they did, the hospital wrapped the child up very tightly so that they could not see what actually happened, and they were able to see the child behind the glass.
And let me be more specific. In an attempt to basically misrepresent and miscommunicate to the family, when they wrapped this baby up tightly, they propped the baby's head up on top of the blanket to make it appear as though the head was actually attached when it wasn't.
Correct.
This happened in Atlanta. I just had to let that story sit. Even just saying the story is like, and that hits close to home for me because not because I had anything remotely close or traumatic happen during my child's birth, but I was adamant about having a home birth, which I did. Thank the Most High, I was able to have a home birth. And this is why I was so adamant. I was like, I do not want to go in those hospitals to have my child. I want to have a natural birth. And I know that these hospitals are pushing cesarean sections on women, even when it's unwarranted. They're not giving us a chance to actually try to push the baby out. They're gonna so easily give you an epidural if you feel any kind of pain. I knew that the epidural, a lot of women have pain for the rest of their lives in their back from the epidural shot. I knew that maybe if I was there in a hospital and that pain hit me, and mind you guys, I was in labor for 24 hours, literally, meaning if you went to the club, came back, went to sleep, woke up, ate your breakfast, ate your lunch, ate your dinner, you ready to go to work, I'm still in active labor, right? I thought I was going to lose my mind. But there was no epidural around, right? I did have a midwife and I did have a doula. My midwife worked giving birth for about 20 years up to that point. Both of my close friends and mentors and things of that nature have also had her birth some of their children, so she's had a long track record. So this wasn't just, oh, I'm at home, and this was in New York City. And I had my baby on my bed. with people that I loved around in a safe environment. And it was a beautiful experience. It was a beautiful experience. And I say this hits close to home because things like this was my fear. Like, one of my biggest fears was that they would like try to force some type of vaccination or, you know, different things that we didn't want to be involved with, especially not for a newborn. You know, and I just didn't trust that. I know this was like a weird fear of mine, but I was like, I don't even necessarily trust that they will not do what you tell them not to do with your newborn if it's in a different room. And this shit lets me know that I was not crazy. My fear, my irrational fear, what it felt like irrational fear, was fucking valid. Pardon my French, but this lady she tried to pull the baby out so hard. The only way that they found out that the baby, that the couple actually found out that the baby was in fact decapitated was because the coroner said there's no way. What happened? The coroner was shocked. Like, what happened to the baby? This has to be reported. Is there no police report? Like, what are they saying happened to the baby? How could a baby come from a hospital? But I say all of that to say, imagine the force. You are a medical professional. This is no mistake. You got to know, pulling a baby out of a mom's womb, she's supposed to be able to push it. I don't think there's supposed to be any pulling. But even with the kind of brute force, do you know how much pulling you have to do to detach? Anyway, if a medical professional can do that to a newborn baby, and this is a black female, right? The ones that we're supposed to trust and not question and believe black women, believe the victim, don't question anything. This is the cesspool of black women that we're dealing with. And once again, I'm going to probably close this off now because I have to go. But I will say my intent is not to disrespect black women or bash you guys or myself. The goal is for us to be a lot more receptive to constructive criticism. Forget constructive criticism. Even if the criticism doesn't come out how you like it, ladies, take the message, even if you don't like the messenger. But we have to do better. We really do. In general, as a whole. Yeah, so that was one of my videos on female accountability, and how out of control we are. Really and truly, we're out of control. There was something else that I'm forgetting where I was like, oh my God, black women, we completely lost. We're losing. We're mentally going through things. And I probably really need to pray for us. Like, I really need to just start praying for us as a collective.
Somebody pray for me. Somebody pray for me. Somebody pray for me.
At the same time that I critique us. But this is my video today, y'all. I gotta go. Thank you guys for watching. I look forward to the comments. Don't comment just to comment. If something really touched you, or there's something that you wanted to elaborate. Y'all, I'm from New York. I be trying to stop saying "to." If there's something you would really like to elaborate on, yeah, just comment down below. If nothing else, just you can hit the like. I don't really like saying that, but y'all know this was just another discussion from me to you. And with that being said, I hope that you have a good day and that you're having a good life. And I'll talk to you guys soon.